everybody, welcome to Paper Wishes Weekly Webisodes. I'm Lene Gehrig, and today from our friends at 3Quarter Design, I have Fluttering Wings collection, designer paper, and die cut set. There's so much in here, you guys, and the papers and die cuts are absolutely gorgeous. I made this card. This is our giveaway card for this episode, so if you stick around, you'll learn how one lucky viewer can win this card to keep or share with a friend. So come play with us. All right, so this first page, look how gorgeous with these beautiful flowers, the text on here, the aqua colors, absolutely gorgeous, beautiful little hummingbird. This is on the back of the cover. And then we're going to go into all these little strips of paper, okay? These measure 12 inches wide, and let me measure this way. And then they are almost 4 inches, okay? So it's about a third of the paper. And these are great because you can get a whole lot more of these little patterns for matting things, for adding borders. I've never thought of doing it this way, but I really appreciate this. So you've got papers like this, and then ones that kind of read as more of a solid like this, but they have these beautiful like textures and things on them. They're just little like quarter sheets, which is so cool. And then we've got, these are cutouts, and I did a project with this, I'll show you at the end. I use these as sort of like book covers, but yeah, really, really beautiful. I love the rounded corners. Then you've got, these are cutouts, so there's a lot of cutouts to use. Got little greetings and sayings are also cutouts. More cutouts here. More cutouts, and then there's also punch outs coming. And then we've got the beautiful paper with the stripe, absolutely gorgeous. And then at the bottom of a lot of these, it's got this cutout strip that on the other side it goes all the way to the bottom, and then on this side you've got the cutout. So if you wanted to use this as a scrapbook page, it's 12 by 12. If you cut the strip off, then it would be of course 11 by 12. But fantastic colors, very, very vibrant. This is a glossy cardstock, and it's the weight of it is absolutely fantastic. You've got these beautiful reds and all these vibrant greens. Okay, absolutely beautiful. Now, what I loved about this one, see if I can find it again. Okay, look at the pairing for this if you're doing a scrapbook page. Like, it's a really great spread, all right? Fantastic. And they pretty much are all paired like that. Look at that vibrant red with the metallic gold. And this teal and green. The wildflowers and the butterflies and the birds. Absolutely phenomenal. And I love the little like vignettes where you can like, okay, I can do a card here, I can do a card here, I can use what's left here and do something else. Okay, absolutely cool butterfly. And then here's the little wagon that I used on my card. Here's the opposite side of this one. So compare it like this, compare it like this. Really cool. Okay, I'm going to keep this one aside. And then beautiful reds. I love the little quotes. This is a beautiful one with sort of creams and gold and browns and blues, just green. The mix of colors on this one, this spray is absolutely amazing. And then the circles, I used these on a project that I'm going to show you shortly as well. All right, then you've got all of these die cuts. They just pop right out. And then this last one with the teal, and then just layout ideas for scrapbooking. All right, so let's jump back into this card. This is a 6.5 by 5 inch card. As I mentioned, it's our giveaway, so as soon as I finish talking about the card, I'll tell you how you can participate in the giveaway. So for this one, you guys, I just took my card and I inked the edges with my favorite cocoa bean ink, my favorite little applicator, and just gave the edges a quick little ink. And then I took one of the papers that has that red and gold background, cut it slightly smaller than my card, glued that on, and then the next layer was actually one of these. Where did I put it? Where did I put it? Here we go. was this cream color right here. Just took a chunk of this one, cut the border off. That is my matte. I inked the edges of that as well. And then this one right here, this little top one, just cut this off. And the measurement of that little rectangle is about 5.5 inches by 4 inches. Inked the edges of that, and then the one that I made from this one and this one, they're about the same size, and I just offset them slightly. All right. Then some really pretty sparkly, I wanted to pick up that red jewel border dazzle stickers. Okay, if you're not familiar, they're fantastic. They just lift right off like that. And just one at the top, one at the bottom. Then I took one of the cutout sheets and I cut out this tulip using my little tiny scissors. Tiny scissors, must have when you're doing cutouts. And then I just glued that right here. This is one of the little word cutouts with the greetings and things. I just cut this one out, inked the edges, and foam taped that. So it's just overlapping the flower a little bit, and you still get the whole like wagon kind of thing here, the cart. Added some red jewel dazzle, butterfly dazzle stickers. Right here, one of them is just perched on the corner of this little cart. And then added some my favorite gingham ribbon from a gingham ribbon collection, and just use a little Zot adhesive dot right there. So this is our giveaway card, and how that works is we're trying to promote our Paper Wishes YouTube channel. So if you're watching us on our webisode page, you can expand this page, and if you look down below, you'll see a little YouTube icon. You can click on that, hop on over to YouTube. We ask that you subscribe, like this video with a thumbs up, leave us a comment, and then after about a week we'll reply to one person's video saying congratulations, YouTube username blank. So you do have to know your YouTube username, and that is the name that, or the identification that pops up after you leave a comment. So if you read your own comment, you'll know what your YouTube username is, and then we will tell that one viewer how to claim their prize. And it's a good idea to hit the notification bell in the top right hand corner so you know when we drop a new video and when we do winner announcements. Let's see, what else can I tell you? Oh yeah, we do giveaways for cards every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday videos. So if you watch and participate in all three, that's 3 chances to win a card. Okay, so definitely participate in that. Super fun. All right, the next one, you guys, this is a 5x7, and it's a tent fold card. Debbie and I love the size of tent fold because even though it's just a little bit bigger, okay, it's just a little bit taller, it's only a ½ inch taller than this one, it just gives us a little extra space to play with. So for this one, I used one of the really beautiful yellow papers, and I wish I could find, without having to dig too much, which one I used. Come on, let's see if I can do it. What's the one with all of the flower? I'm like, it's the one with the flowers. Here, I found it. All right, so I just took this part, I cut this border off, and then I just took this part, just about 4.5 inch width of it, inked the edges and glued it here. And then I took the teal paper from here, one of these strips. This is what I'm talking about. These are so nice just to add additional patterns and colors. And I just cut a like 2 inch strip right here, inked the edges of that, and before I glued it, I took one of the little greeting cutouts, inked those edges, and then I just tucked it right inside. So it's like a pocket, but it's not functional. You could make it functional. And then, yeah, so once that was there, then took some of the die cut flowers, and they're already ready to go. You just punch them out rather. And I took all of these right here and the purple ones, and then I took the leaves, inked all of the edges in those. I find it really softens that little border edge. That's, you know, it's not a white edge, it's kind of a tan edge, but inked those, glued the leaves, glued this flower, glued the other orange flower, and then the purple ones are foam taped. And then went back to some of those little red jewel dazzle stickers and added those on. And then of course took one of the butterflies, inked the edges of that as well, and foam taped that right there. So yeah, this one was really quick to put together. I've just got papers everywhere here. All right, so let's look at this one that I was telling you about before, and then some circle cutting dies, okay? Now, you could cut these circles out without using cutting dies, but as you all know, circles can be a little tricky to get a nice precise cut out of them. So I just go to my cutting dies. So we're gonna be using these to make a easel card. Come on, all my little things. I'm starting out with a 6.5 by 5 blank card, and then I took the second to the largest circle die, not the scallop, and I have a little bit of low tack tape here, and I'm just placing this so it's taking up as much of the card as I can without going off the bottom edge, and then just taping this down, and just a little low tack tape to keep it in place here, just like this. And we're going off the edge of the fold. And then this is going to fit through my 6-inch wide platform because the card is 5. This is probably 5.5. It's going to go through your die cutting machine, and it's going to give you a shape like this, all right? And then I opened this up and I scored what was going to be the card front. I just took my scoreboard and I scored that right across the center of the circle. And then I inked the edges inside and out using Prussian blue ink. Actually, you don't have to do the outside edge. I just did the inside edge using Prussian blue ink and a little blender tool. Okay, and then I'm just using some double stick tape. It's just extra sticky tape, super strong tape. We have so many different kinds. Any one of them will work. Whole nother batch of stuff here to show you. I'm trying to keep it organized. And I just put adhesive along the bottom edge. You could absolutely use Cosmic Shimmer glue. That works great as well. So what I'm going to do is I also cut out from pastel cardstock this nice purple and use the largest one of the scallop cutting dies. Inked the edges of this using the Prussian blue, and then I'm just going to foam tape it, okay? And I'm using our giant wheel of foam tape, 150 feet or 50 yards of 1/2-inch wide continuous foam tape that Debbie and I use a lot, like multiple times a day, probably every card actually. And we're going to attach this. Now you don't have to use foam tape. You could just glue it directly, but I like the lift that it gives. And then we're just going to center that right there on the card. All right, and now this little fold is going to work as an easel for our card. So we die cut the largest circle once again, and it's going to go right on top. Now I could use glue to glue this on, but I went ahead and I decided to use some tape so that we didn't have to wait for anything to dry while we were filming this. And that's going to just get placed right on there. And the most important part of this is that you want to make sure that it's centered so that when you open your card, your image is centered and it's not kind of crooked on there. Because when you open the card, you'll really notice if it's crooked. Then I added some Dazzle stickers here. These are the We're Together Dazzle stickers in this collection. And they come in all these different, there's 2 different sheets. There's a more of a vertical sayings, and then there's these that are very horizontal. You get 2 of each in all these different colors. And I used the gold, just added My Friend, just I think so sweet to add. And then I have this one that I die cut. I use these 2 circles, and I'm just going to tape this one down as well for the inside of the card. Which just makes it look pretty when it's opened up. Right? Now, we do need something when the easel is propped open like this to just hold that in place. So I took 2 of the little die cut purple flowers and put a little tape on the back of these. I'm just going to put one like right here, and then another one just a little bit lower off to the side, just like that. And there you go. You have just a really pretty card that makes a very nice presentation for a friend. And it's just really easy to put together. There we go. Okay, last project. This one, I wanted to use those cut apart ones. Let's see, where are they? These just really inspired me when I looked at them. I thought, those are really cool. They look like little book covers, journal covers. What can I do with them? So here's my little pile of stuff here to show you. So I went ahead and I cut one of those out, and then I cut another one of these out. And then there's all these other little things that I cut out. And I saved one of the borders that I cut off of one of the 12 by 12s. I have a little gift card here. All right, so the first thing I did was cut from one of these papers. I think it was this aqua way over here. No, not from that. This one? Hold on, talk amongst yourselves. Here we go. All right, so I just took this piece right here and I went ahead and cut the entire strip, which is 5.5 inches wide. All right, and then I just measured how wide this was, each one of these. And then I put it on my scoreboard, so it's about 3.5 inches. I put this on my scoreboard and I scored 2 at 3.5 inches. So let me show you here. Just to get this accordion fold. And I wanted it to match up with these little covers that were pre-done. So this one we're scoring at, actually it's like 3 5/8, and then 3 5/8. So they're all the same distance apart. Folded those, and then on the corners of them, so they would match up with the artwork on this little cover, I went ahead and I just used our corner rounder tool on each part of this. Okay, got those corner rounded, and then this is going to be the outside of the book, and this is going to be the kind of the inside pages, so it can go like this. So this one is going to get covered actually with this. I had that absolutely backwards. This is going to be the outside, these are going to be the inside of the pages, and this is going to be the back. All right, and then I'm just going to tape this down. What I've noticed when you're working with like a lot of paper packs that have glossy paper, like Hunky Dory has a lot of glossy paper, gluing things that are, when you're gluing glossy paper together, sometimes it can separate after years. Like some things that I've made years ago, I picked them up and the glue did not hold to the glossy paper. So using either using sticky tape and then like a combination of glue really helps it stay in place. There we go. And I'm just going to align the edges of this, just like that. Okay, so we have a nice front cover here. I added a red jewel dazzle, border dazzle across here, added some more of those little jewel dazzle stickers, and then the Get Well is from More Greetings Dazzle stickers in this collection. Just use the black one right there. And now we're going to open this up, and then this is a little bit taller than this, and we can just trim this down a little bit. Whew. Scissors are sticky. And then you can absolutely use the corner rounder, but I'm just going to go ahead and use my scissors and just follow that. Okay, there we go. So Now we're on the inside here, and we can add things like the little greetings, little messages. You can put those right inside like that. Got these butterflies that we can add. And my idea is that, you know, somebody would gift this to somebody and it could stand open kind of like this or like this. We can put butterflies around there. Just to make it look special. That. Now, let's talk about what you can do on the back of this. So, it's kind of hard to write on this paper, so what if we just made a little landing spot out of white cardstock for a place to write your greeting? Okay, and then you could just add this right here. Embellished it with a little butterfly, some more Dazzle stickers. Then what if you wanted to add a little pocket? So on this one, I just took one that was 2 inches tall, and I put tape on 3 sides of it. Oops, like that. And then this is going to go right here. Just like this. And then you could just tuck your little card right in there. And I've got one more butterfly. And right here. Here we go. So it just gives you just a really nice little presentation. It can stand like this. On the back side, you can write your little greeting, your little message, your little get well message. There's a little Starbucks for a little hot tea or something like that if they're not feeling well. And then if you'd like to, if you don't want to put, if you want to, I think this is a really nice finished background, but you could glue this and make it look a little bit more like a book, but I think it's great to just use this for a second one. So you guys, we have a lot here. There's so much more you could do with this collection. I think it's beautiful, and I love how they put it together. It's just not your typical paper pack. There's a lot of fun little things about it. And the money saver on this is fantastic. It's right over on the right-hand side. If you're watching us on our Paper Wishes webisode, just check that out. Down below the video, all the items are listed individually. So if you're interested in the dazzles or the ribbon, that's always there. And there's also full color photos of the cards. And if you're watching us on YouTube, hello, it'd be awesome if you would subscribe there. It helps our small company grow. And look below the video in the description box and you'll see a link that'll take you to this Paper Wishes webisode page. Thanks for joining me, you guys, and I'll see you in the next one.